What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the Pro Style Alternate Playbook in College Football 25. If you want the most basic Pro Style attack you can think of, this is it. We're talking like non-RPO, non-option, basic run, play action, some dropbacks. That's not a humongous playbook. This is what this is. And I think it's a pretty good one. It's got some really good stuff in it. This is a really good playbook, like with most alternate playbooks, to where you can use that to test things to see if you like that type of offense before moving on to perhaps a bigger playbook. But you can definitely use this one by itself as well. So we're going to go over the formations, concepts, play types, and personnel. And hopefully by the end of the video, you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So Pro Style, what are you thinking of? The NFL, that's why I probably put that logo on the thumbnail. It's basic run, play action, a lot of variety in personnel groupings, some fullbacks, things of that nature. So we're going to see a lot of that starting off with these formations, and it starts off with the single back. So we got a one back, three tight end look and wing tight, 12 plays there. Then we got single back ace, one back, two tight ends, 12 plays there. Then we got single back bunch. So you kind of notice what we got here. This is an 11 personnel formation, 15 plays, one back, one tight end. And then we got doubles off close, another 11 personnel formation. And now we're back to wing tight. So again, this is an alternate playbook. Most of these aren't very big to begin with, but I do like to go through here just to see if there is any pre-snap motion or things that kind of work really well together. Out of this, let's start off with wing tight. I am not seeing any here. What about single back ace? What about bunch? So this is another thing. It's like very basic, not a lot of pre-snap movement at all. You do got like this type of combination right here, PA end around shift or sift, and then they got end around lead. I think those work pretty well together. I'm actually going to call this little reverse. I think this is pretty nasty. So this will work together along with that play action version we just saw. I mean, this is like a lot of fun to work with. This is something just kind of off kilter for it being a basic pro style attack, but it is in there if you need it. And then we got doubles off close, and we got a little bit here. We got a little jet sweep finally. We got basic jet sweep, play action fly sweep, and then we got the zone fake jet. I'm going to call it the play action version. Let's see if I can make this look halfway decent. So we got a backside comeback and like a wheel concept on the other, kind of like a run and shoot look with a switch. Let's see, can I go to my tight end? It's a good one-on-one situation. Can he make the play? Nice, 6 points, good deal. So that's a fun little play to work around with your jet sweep. Now, one good thing about this little mini series right here is the jet sweep itself is going towards the tight end side. I think these work just a little bit better, just because you got that tight end there blocking for you right off the edge, if you can help it. Sometimes you get something like that where you don't get great blocking, but I still prefer that over like some other type of jet sweep. So you got a little bit of that. Otherwise, that is it for your single back, but you got a little variety here if you need some 13 personnel, some 12, and some 11. We got a couple I formations to look at. If you're going to have a pro style offense, you better have some I formation. So we got I pro, that's a 21 personnel look, two back, one tight end. Then we got I tight. You're throwing a tight end in there as well, an extra one. So let's go to I Pro. You go through here, basic run play action, nothing too out of the ordinary. Like, again, this is the most basic pro style stuff you could think of. And of course, we'll cover the concepts and play types a little bit later in the video. But let's look at tight. I don't think we'll have any pre-snap motion here. So this is very basic stuff what you would use with these two. If you got a decent fullback, definitely throw some of this in your offense. Speaking of fullback, we got some more formations to look at. Then we got strong wing. This is a 22 personnel formation. Two backs, two tight ends. We got 12 plays. And we got a little pre-snap motion. We got a motion power O. We got a motion power play action of that. Then we got the motion zone weak. Just want to make sure that was it from this formation, and it is. Everything is built off this particular play right here. Basic power O, but just some window dressing. So you're going to bring that other tight end over. He's going to come over and block this backside if possible, and you just try to find whatever crease you can. Then you can throw play action play on top of that, another drive or so down further in the game. So you got a little bit of that in there if you need it. And we got a weak formation. Very rare. There's not many playbooks in this game that has a weak formation, but we got weak slot flex. We got 9 plays. You see here, basic run, play action, nothing too out of the ordinary. We actually got a little more drop back than usual. Notice we got way more drop back than like play action. I'm going to go ahead and call like a basic curl flat over here with a smash concept on the other end. I'm going to hit this curl. Yep, very easy stuff right there. Very fun. That's a little West Coast love right there. I mentioned this playbook in my West Coast video not too long ago. Make sure you go check that one out. So just don't expect a whole lot in here, but if you just love that look, you love that weak side with the fullback to the left, hey, this is a great little formation for you. Now we got some shotgun to look at. Starting off, gun doubles offset, 11 personnel with a one back, one tight end. Then we got wide trips weak. Then we got bunch, it's still 11 personnel. Still 11 personnel here with gun tight. Then we got spread Y flex. The Y flex meaning your Y or your tight end on the right is spread out like that. Then we got trio Y flex. So this is another thing. So if you remember, like if you watch any NFL games, the tight end has become like right underneath quarterback in terms of the most important skill player in the NFL. It's just like they prioritize tight end so much. So notice some of these very tight end oriented formations, especially this right here, where you can isolate him by himself, sort of like what the Kansas City Chiefs like to do with Travis Kelce. Then we got Trey open. We finally got a 4 wide look. We got 15 plays there, one back, 0 tight end. Then we got empty base flex where you got 11 personnel with your one back and your tight end still out there. So you go through here. Let's go find some pre-snap motion if there is any. Let's go through wide trips week. Do we have any here? We do not. What about bunch? Normally these little compressed sets are not going to have any. What about gun tight? Same thing. We don't have any here. What about spread Y flex? I don't see any here. Usually the more spread out you go, the less pre-snap motion you're going to find. We don't have any. What about tray open? I don't see any here. And then what about empty base flex? Most of the time it will not have any. So you don't have any pre-snap motion in your shotgun formation. That's not a bad thing. You don't need them. But in this particular playbook, there just aren't any, at least from the shotgun. So we've covered the formations. You have a good idea of what they are all about. It's all pro style looks, single back, I form, strong, weak, and throw in some of that shotgun. It just screams NFL offense, but without not as much window dressing. But let's talk about the personnel groupings. We should have some variety here. Starting off, some 12 personnel. You got one formation. 11 personnel, this is where everything starts for you. I would build your roster around this just because there's so much of it in here. Then we got 23 is just your goal line. 32 is your QB kneel. 22, you do have wing and tight. So this is really cool to have. You know, not many playbooks have two of these. Barely one, if that. Your 21 personnel, that's I Pro, and then slot flex, so you got a couple there. Then 13 personnel, if you need that extra tight end on top of that, you can use this formation. And then we got one true 4 wide look, and that is tray open. So pretty much all the main personnel groupings are represented here, which I absolutely have to have if I'm running a pro style offense. Now let's talk about the concept. So again, look at the play count. This is a very small playbook, so expect a lot of disparity here, a lot of small numbers for various things, but also notice how much run we have compared to option. Either way, let's start off with the runs. We got 12 power, a good amount of power, actually a whole lot more than plenty of other similar offenses or even spread looks. Just a lot of power. If you're going to have that much power, you're going to have that much counter, but we'll check that here in a minute. We got 19 inside zones. Really good. Everything's going to pretty much start here. Then we got 3 ISOs. Then we got 6 counters. So all that power, you can counter that with some counters. So those two concepts right there work together. That creates your gap scheme. Then we got 5 draws. Then we got 4 outside zones. This will complement your inside zone. And then we have a handful of sweeps. One of them is from goal line, but you still got a couple other ones you can use. I'm going to call this little crack toss. There's not many playbooks that have this type of play in it. I really like this. Kind of get to the outside. Not bad. Good little run right there. It's just a fun little play, something different than what most people would try to call. So you got a few sweeps in there. Then we have a wham. This is technically a zone running play, but you notice your tight end is doing a little pre-snap motion. I'm actually going to call this one. So watch the tight end. Very quick motion. And then you're just off and running. Again, just basic run play right there. Just a basic inside zone for the most part. Okay, so that's cool that you have that. You keep on going. We have that one end around we looked at earlier, and we got a pitch wide receiver reverse. So these two, it's a fun little complements to your basic run game. And then we got one true jet sweep, but that's only one. That's right, because we don't have any from the shotgun. So the big thing with the runs here, this is your entire run game because there's no basic option in this playbook. I would get diverse with it. I would mix it up. You don't have to be strictly zone running. You don't have to do nothing but inside zone and outside zone and draw. We got a ton of power in here, 12 power plays. I would mix in some of that with a counter. I mean, I think you'd have more fun if you mix all of that together as opposed to being one or the other, but it's up to you how you want to go do that. The good thing is you got plenty of everything in here for a really good, diverse run game. Let's talk about the options. There's not much here. Notice there's not a single option play in here. It's nothing but technically one. We got one read option. We got 2 RPOs, peaks. We got a peak slant and another peak slant. And then we got RPO alerts. We got a power alert X looky, a zone split alert smoke, and we got an RPO, a zone alert glance. And to be honest, I'm not even a fan of either of those three, but we got a few more to look at. We got another RPO looky. We got alert screen. My favorite one out of all of these by far is this RPO alert bubble. I'm going to go ahead and call this one. Pretty much the way this looks, if you got a cornerback that's way off that alert out, you see right there, I'm just going to dump it to him. Just very easy 5 yards. You can't go wrong with that, or you can go to the backside bubble if needed. But as you can tell, we have so few RPOs that it's honestly, this is not part of the offense. Throw them in there if you like them, but there's just so few of it that I would not prioritize it at all. And especially the option, because we literally only have one. Do not pick running quarterbacks with this offense. It's not worth it, trust me. All right, let's look at the quick game. We got 3 Ohios. We got 1 scat. We got 11 slants. That's a good, healthy number. We got 4 spacings. That's a really good high number for this because this is a pro-style offense. Spacing is a pro-style concept. So I would use some of it if you like it. But we also got 6 sticks, so all this stick and slant tend to go together. So you got a little bit of everything there, as I would expect from a pro-style attack. Let's look at the medium pass game. We got a lot more mediums than about anything else. We got 13 curls, so any type of curl or a hitch, they're going to dump it here. A curl flap, that's probably my favorite medium pass concept in the game, maybe outside of mesh. But basic curl flap, can't go wrong with it here. I'm going to go to this flat, pick up a few yards there. Again, this is going to be a big staple of this offense, especially since this playbook isn't very big to begin with. So 13 of those. We got a couple pivots. We got 9 spots. So all that spot, this is typical West Coast / pro style stuff right here. Make this a priority. There's 9 of them. We got 6 choice plays, pretty much any type of option route. They're going to just dump it here, and there's only 6 of them, so this ain't going to be a big priority unless you just like one of these concepts. We got 4 double moves. We got 4 drives, so you got a dig and a drag going in the same direction. We got levels, and just another drag to throw in there, so these two work really well together. We got 5 mesh. Throw a little air raid in there, so that's a good little healthy number for a small of a playbook as it is. A couple Salems. We got 4 shell across, so this mesh, levels, and drive, all 4 of those work really well together, so I would use them big time. We got a couple slot crosses. We got 18 smash, so this is your other big one. Technically, it's the most popular medium pass concept in this playbook by far, so pick the ones you like in terms of if you like smash corners, the basic hitch flag, or do you like the counter flat look, as you would see? I think we got some in here. At least I thought we did. Oh, I think this is actually all old school smash stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually something I just now realized. All this is basic old school smash. I don't see any counter flat anywhere. Either way, it's pretty cool that all that's kind of built around that. Then we got a couple of Texas routes, you know, the little halfback or a tight end run that little angle route. So notice the diversity here. It's a pro style attack. It should have a little bit of everything. But bulk of it's going to be your smash, your drive, all your drags and digs, stuff like that. Spot and curl. That's going to be the bulk of your drawback passing game. But we do got some deep stuff to look at. We got 6 shot plays, not a whole lot. We got 4 divides. Divide is going to go really well with your verticals. It's pretty much the go, post, combo. But then we got some of that in these verticals here. We got 9 vertical plays. We got a couple Portlands. We got 8 comebacks. So notice a lot of this is kind of meshed together. Notice PA comeback seam. It's a play action, it's a vertical, and it's a comeback concept all rolled into one. But 8 is a good, healthy number. We got 5 daggers, more verticals, more a slot go. Then we got a dig on underneath it. Then we got a double dig. We got a couple double post. We got 7 flood. I'm a big flood fan. You got a man beater on one side, usually, and a zone concept on the other. That'll be a big priority in this offense. You got 1 go, you got 3 meals, and you got a couple of switch. So out of all these, I would really focus on verticals, divide, comeback, probably dagger, and some flood. Those should be your main ones. Because again, you got to treat this as a pro style offense. You're going to have a lot of concepts to play with. It says we got 9 play actions. We know better than that. It says we got 5 boots and 4 slides. So if you like one or the other, they all kind of do the same thing more or less. You've got either a tight end or a fullback going out in the flat for you. But you got some of those. And it says we only got 6 screenplays, but we actually got a little bit more than that. If you go over to play type, you go to pass, you go to screen pass. We got 8 total true screens. Throw in these, which there's not many here, so this ain't going to be a big screen offense. You got 8 of those, and you throw in these 8 RPOs. So you got 16 total screenplays when you combine those two. Let's go back up to the pass. Let's go to play action. We got 34 play actions. This is actually a really big number for such a small playbook. So this is the point of this offense. You run the ball, pick the schemes you like, the concepts, whether it's zone or gap scheme. Do play action off of that with all this stuff right here, and then throw in whatever dropbacks you really like, either from the shotgun, or you could do some of the ones from under center too. You got plenty of options there. Let's look at the runs a little different light. We got 37 inside handoffs. Everything, I mean, it's going to kind of start here, going and running between the tackles. Then we got 7 outside handoffs. Then we got a few pitches. We got those 6 counters we looked at. We got 5 draws. I would definitely use this with your dropbacks. We got a fullback run, and we got a QB run, and both of these are from the goal line, so you're not going to use either one unless it's 3rd and short, 4th and short, what have you. This is not an option offense. As you can tell, we literally have 1 option play in the entire playbook. So kind of remember that. Same with RPOs. This is not an RPO offense. You only have 8 of them. They're in here. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't shock me if you use this playbook that you would not use these at all, but it's up to you how you want to go about doing that. So that is it for this playbook. Again, it's an alternate playbook, which means it's not very big, but it knows what it wants to be. It's a basic pro style attack with plenty of formations and personnel groupings to fool around with a nice diverse running game that also has a nice diverse passing game. It's got a lot of stuff for as small as a playbook as it is, but you know what to expect with this. It's pretty much an NFL offense without all the window dressing and fancy stuff. I enjoy it. I think you'll like it too. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.